So my name is Scott McGhee. I am from Little Rock, Arkansas, and actually I was born in Fayetteville but raised in Little Rock. And I have restaurants and breweries in the state of Arkansas. So I was born in Fayetteville, which is in northwest Arkansas, when my father was playing football for the Razorback football team, which is kind of a big deal in Arkansas. And I was raised by a mother and father who were obsessed with food, and that kind of carried over into me. My great grandparents had an inn and restaurant called the Red Apple Inn in Central Arkansas in Heber Springs, and that whole food culture and garden culture is something that really appealed to me in my youth. And I then moved to California, and I worked for Alice Waters at Shape and East Restaurant, and trained in California at the California Culinary Academy. And then I moved back to Arkansas and started opening restaurants. And I've opened, to date, I've opened about 16 restaurants, starting with a place called Boulevard Bread Company, and so on and so on. And I won't bore you with all of them. So, Lost 40 is, it's Arkansas's biggest brewery, and I think it's Arkansas's best brewery. Of course, I'm biased, but there's a lot of amazing breweries that we are partners with and support. It's a great community, not only in Arkansas, but all over the U.S. And we create, I guess in the last 8 or 9 years since we've opened our doors, we've made hundreds of different varieties. We use all kinds of interesting hops from all over the world. We make amazing lagered beers and ales. We also have just an incredible barrel aging program. One of my favorite beers that we make is called Nighty Night, because it literally puts you to sleep. And we do a big festival every fall. There's always a theme. It's some kind of Halloween type theme, and it's called the Nighty Night Festival, which is a really, really, really fun thing to do in the state of Arkansas. So Lost 40. So in the early days in the South in Arkansas, they did a lot of clear cutting of timber, and they would essentially clear cut a 40-acre tract, which is a big rectangle tract of land, and then they would move to the next 40 acres. And I think the timber company that was clear cutting this area around southern Arkansas was called Potlatch Timber Company. And for some reason, they skipped a 40 acres. I guess in the late 1800s or early 1900s, and they once they skip it, the surveyors just keep going. They don't go in reverse. And so 100 years later, it turns out this plot of land has it's pristine, virgin, untouched forest, and it has some records for some of the largest and biggest around trees in North America of certain varieties. The flora and the fauna are all native to Arkansas, so it's kind of a little slice back in time. But then over time, timber workers in that area, they would go there to kind of hide and party and drink, and it kind of became a place to congregate. So it's kind of the Lost 40 for that reason as well. And so today, that forest is studied by botanists and biologists from the region, and apparently it's a fascinating place, and it's connected to my partner's family who's from that area, and it's just a fun little story in the state of Arkansas. You know, the brewery itself, some of our best and biggest selling beers, one is Love Honey Bock, which we make with local Arkansas honey. And then one of our biggest sellers is called Second Rodeo, and it's kind of our version of light beer, and we use all Arkansas rice. Arkansas is the biggest rice producing state in the United States, because the alluvial plain is very fertile, and there's lots of water, which is perfect for rice growing. And then our restaurant also, the Lost 40 restaurant, we really lean into local produce and supporting local farmers, as so many do, but it's a labor of love, really. So we make a mean gumbo at Lost 40, and I with a spicy gumbo, I like a lighter beer. I would recommend the Second Rodeo, although my go-to beer is called Rockhound, which is our kind of flagship IPA as well, which is fantastic. So we are right now. There's always new flavors coming out. So there's always new beers. We have a very creative team. So every year we're releasing new things, and anything that the market really loves, we'll create on a larger scale. And some things are just one-offs, but you'll always find something unique there. I think we always have about 18 beers on tap. And then lots of different canned beers as well that you can take with you. We are not going out of state as of now. We are only available in Arkansas. A lot of liquor stores on our border towns we border Missouri, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, and Tennessee and Mississippi, all around Arkansas. We are opening a restaurant in Memphis. So if we went anywhere, I guess that would be a possibility.